My parents forced me to donate my liver to my abusive sister, then a DNA test shattered everything. I was never really part of the family that raised me. My mom tore up my medical records in the hospital lobby, screaming that I was letting my sister die. My father stood beside her and called me a selfish mistake. They tried to force me to donate half my liver to the same sister who used to laugh when I cried, who told our school I was adopted before I even knew it was true. But what still wakes me at night are the doctor's words, "You are not biologically related at all." 7 words that made my mother collapse when she finally couldn't lie anymore. I stayed in that hospital chair, frozen and humiliated, as shreds of my medical file fluttered around my feet like discarded receipts. "You think you get to sit there and act like a victim?" Mom snapped, her voice echoing through the lobby. "Your sister is dying, and you're doing nothing." Strangers watched, a nurse organizing files, a woman holding her toddler tighter, a security guard nearby. No one defended me. I gathered the torn papers with shaking hands, not from guilt. I needed proof, something they couldn't twist into another lie. "I didn't raise you to be this ungrateful," Mom whispered, stepping closer. "We gave you everything." I looked up into her eyes. "You gave me what you thought I owed you for." She blinked hard. For a moment, real quiet. Then came the scream, "You're letting your sister die." It echoed through the lobby like a headline. From behind the glass wall, Vera caught my eyes and smiled. Not gratitude, ownership. That satisfied look that said I was still orbiting around her needs. My father appeared, his shadow falling across the tiles. "You're just a selfish mistake," he said like a fact he'd believed for years, and finally stopped hiding. I walked to the water fountain, memories flooding back. Vera getting the plane window seat while I got the middle. Her brand new car for her 16th birthday. My clearance sweater. The college acceptance letter she accidentally spilled coffee on before I could read it. "Be grateful," they always said after every slight. "We didn't have to take you in." I pulled out my phone and found the email from 6 months ago. National donor match results. I tested myself when I first heard Vera was sick, hoping if I wasn't a match, it would end there. I'd never told them the results. Days later, Dr. Holstrom called me back. "Your mother marked that you hadn't been tested, but our records show you were tested 6 months ago. The results were emailed to her showing you were not a match." She knew. She had the answer and still dragged me here. "I want printed copies," I said, my voice steadier than expected. He handed me a manila folder. From a medical ethics standpoint, withholding that information was dangerous. I walked to Vera's room. "You knew I wasn't a match." She shrugged. "You showed up, didn't you?" The casual cruelty floored me. She didn't need to yell or lie. She just needed to wait. "I sent every document to the ethics board," I told her. "The registry results, the forged consent forms, the timestamps. I brought the receipts." The final blow came at their press conference. "Anonymous donor," Mom announced to cameras with theatrical tears. "Because of their generosity, our daughter is alive. Anonymous." They erased me while I stood in the hallway watching my story get rewritten. When cameras shut off, I approached Mom. "You knew I was in the building. You forfeited the right to be part of this family." I pulled out my phone. She smacked it from my hands, shattering the screen across the floor. "Log this as evidence," I told security. "I'm filing a restraining order." I walked to the media room where mics were still live. "My name is Sasha Hale," I said. "You didn't hear that name today, but it matters." I held up the registry results. "This says I'm not a match. This is the forged consent form. This proves my mother withheld test results from the hospital." Camera flashes went off. I was adopted, never told. They tried to use my body to fix their lie, then erased me from their story. Behind me, Mom fainted. The thud was louder than the whispers. "I don't want revenge," I said. "I want to never explain myself to them again." The internet grabbed the story. Headlines everywhere. "Adopted daughter exposes organ donation scandal." Mom was hospitalized for stress. Dad disappeared from public view. Vera was discharged in silence. For the first time, I was louder than all of them. Weeks later, I received a handwritten note from Arizona. "I'm adopted too. You gave me something I didn't know I was allowed to have. Choice." Some families collapse under their lies. I built my life on truth. That was enough.